Welcome again. Welcome to another episode of Consciousness Rising Zimbabwe and Beyond. This is Natalia Baker, your host. Today with me I have Natalia Baker, and I consider this interview a take two because last time we had an interview, a beautiful interview that I advise you to go and watch, which was called Going Through the Great Shift and Becoming a Creator, where we covered so many things that they are happening at the moment and that they will happen in the future. So today we're going to talk about your coming to Harare and to Bulawayo. So you're coming to Zimbabwe with Hannelore Bouman. Am I pronounce it correct?
Hannelore Bouman.
Yes. And so welcome you again, Natalia, and welcome to our Consciousness Rising show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Natalia, for the one of you who don't know yet, she's been a metaphysical teacher for 30 plus years, for so long. And she's a counselor, she's an author, she wrote 3 books, she recorded so many CD with meditations. I think you have also a podcast or something like that.
Well, I do a lot of video clips.
Okay.
You know, I used to do long podcasts, but now I just do, this is for my Facebook page, and now I just do short video clips.
Yes.
Because people don't have the time. Do you know? So if I do something for 2.5 minutes, that's enough.
Yes. So, Natalia, you and Hannelore are coming in September. You're going to present 2 workshops that you have created,
Yes.
that brand new.
Yes.
So one is Love Your Body and Your Body Loves You. And that's a very important topic. And I suspect maybe we're going to deal with self-love a bit, maybe. And then the other one is about the magic of the pineal. And the pineal gland, the pineal is a gland, if you don't know yet, and we'll hear all about that. So, Love your body, and your body loves you. What is it all about?
Well, you know, it's so interesting. If I could put this in the context of the development of consciousness, because if it was a feminist topic, it would be about claiming your power, choosing how you want to be, choosing your relationship with your body. Now, we're not working with that. We're working on a completely different level. We're working with looking at how the body is changing, because do you know that even our heads are getting bigger? I don't mean we're getting arrogant. Our heads are physically getting bigger. We're going through a massive number of physical changes. So that's one of the things that we explore. And the other thing is we look at communicating with our body, because the information that we're getting now is that we need to have a loving, respectful interchange of communication with our bodies. So it's really developing a relationship with the innate wisdom of the body. But the other things we look at on this course is understanding the alight body, and also seeing the body as a haven for the soul. But beyond that, ascension. What does it mean, ascension and the body? But you see, Antonella, I've been trying to understand this in a big, wider context. And what came to me is that we are all developing a very, very loving, if not worshipping, relationship with Gaia, with the Divine Mother, with the earth, with the goddess. And this is one of the themes that we know is current in the development of our consciousness now. When you go into a garden or you go into a park, or you go into a veld, we are developing such an awe and such an honoring for the way that that goddess is producing, growing, flourishing plants. And that consciousness of movement and change and development and growth all the time, you know, where it moves me most is where you see a block of cement and it's cracked, and out of that is coming a little green shoot. And I think of the story of Solzhenitsyn, where he was in that prison for years and years, and one day he goes over to the window and he sees a little flower coming out of a crack by the window where there's a little bit of soil. So this is the consciousness of the divine feminine growing. Now, it's related to the body because our bodies are of the earth. So it is natural. It is a complete logical step in our evolution at the moment that we need to develop a loving, communicating, vital relationship with the body. Now, could I say something else? You see, I work with, my work partner is Hannelore Bouman, and she is the most wonderful, wonderful, clear, integral, truthful, pure channel. So on this course, she brings through personal messages for each one. Now, when we were preparing this talk, it was fascinating because I got the feeling that we were not being helped. You know, it was like, you two get on with it, do your studies, integrate it, and work out a good, beautiful workshop. Actually, it's a course, it's 2 days. So we didn't have any channeling. And I felt a little bit, no, what are they leaving us? You know, it's so lovely to have guidance from spirit. And then on the last session of our preparation, what happened is Hannelore sitting there and she's saying, oh, there's somebody here. I can feel energy. I've never felt this energy before. And I'm getting quite excited, you know, who's coming through? And do you know who it was? It was Lakshmi. Lakshmi came through. And what Lakshmi said to us is that we are so responsible for what is happening on the planet. And when we are integrated with the body, we hold the balance for the world. I'm going to repeat that. When we're integrated with the body, we hold the balance for the world. It's quite something, isn't it? Right?
Yes.
So, and she said that what happens is all the people who are not integrated with the body, what's happening is they're causing wobbling. They're causing disturbance. They're not actually connected. So this is a very, very, very important workshop. And one of the things that I struggle with a little bit is everybody thinks that, oh, it's going to be loving my body and getting slim. It's not about that at all. And the teaching that's coming through is said that we have chosen our particular bodies at this time for our last incarnation. So that's another thing that we kind of look at. And we look in the course quite sensitively, but quite deeply at what is the conditioning that we've had around the body from our education, from our family, from our ancestors, and we clear that. We clear that so we can come totally into the new relationship with our body. Is that clear?
It is clear, and this embodiment, it's so, at the moment, it's just paramount, really. In my experience, it's been paramount, and I see it straight away. Whenever I lose it, just go straight in the mind and everything gets lost. Everything gets lost. It's like all the work of years gets lost in 1 minute until I call myself back and I come down again. And it's, yeah.
Well, thank you for saying that, because one of the focuses in the 2 days is that we bring our bodies into the lower part of the body. We start to live in the abdomen region, and that is the region that actually connects with the earth. So it's very profound. Incidentally, we've had a few men on this course. Don't fall off your chair and faint. And they've loved it. They've absolutely loved it, because they also have the problem of like we do, battling with getting into the head and losing the connection with the body. And unfortunately, you see, we know that we've got to try to live 24/7 with the open heart. Doesn't mean we switch off the mind. It works with the heart, but we can't do that. We can't be in the heart unless we're fully in the body. I mean, if you're fully in the body, it makes the heart even more powerful.
Yeah, and
so
those,
we're doing this course in Harare on the weekend of the 10th and 11th, and then we're doing it in Bulawayo on
24th and 25th
yes.
of September,
yes.
coming September.
Yes. Yeah. And on this course, you'll all get personal messages.
Thank you.
And
yes, because you both channel, both of you and Hannelore, you do channel.
Well, she's the major channel.
Yes.
She's the major channel. Yeah.
One thing that you have said that it was like, oh, yeah, sure. When you say that we become the conduit on this planet for higher power, you said in other words before, but it reached me in this way, so that we become a walking light through our body, or what's happening, or what's of the energy that and that we need the body in order for that to happen.
Well, thank you for making that point, because us as a channel of light, right, when we are fully in that body and connected with the earth, not only are we connected with the divine I am presence coming through us, but the earth energies coming through us, and those marry in the body, right? But we are also able to radiate very, very much more light. We then start on the path to claiming our mastery. We become masters on the planet.
Okay,
it's hard for us to recognize that, isn't it? It's hard for us.
So this is love your body, and your body loves you. And so for what can you tell us for the magic of the Pineal, the other workshop?
Okay, all right. You know how everything's changing, we are changing, we're growing and developing. And one of the major themes for us now is to start to work with the pineal. Now, the pineal has been a very, very neglected gland, and it has been one of the aspects of our consciousness which, since separation, since the time of separation, has been completely dumbed down by food, by exterior stimulation, by fluoride, the worst, and much more. But we go into that more fully on it's a day's workshop. So the major part for me of this pineal, well, it's actually twofold, is that you know how much of the downloads and much of the teaching at the moment is saying you are going to come into not just love and compassion and peace, but embracing all, coming into oneness, into connection, into unity with all that is. Now, that state is the state which is beyond duality. You see, when we are in that pineal, when that pineal starts to open, we are totally in oneness and unity with everything, because the pineal has no duality. There's no left, right, there's no up, there's no down, there's no good, there's no bad, there's no light, there's no dark. I can go on and on and on forever about how we live in these polarities and dualities, but we go beyond that when the pineal is open. And of course, that is going to be one of the major characteristics of the fifth dimension, the unity consciousness. So it's very, very important. Now, the other thing that happens with the wonderful pineal, and it's really quite awesome when you start to work with it, because all the people on our courses and Hannelore and I are experiencing a huge amount of light coming from the center of the brain. It's got a special position. It's sort of behind the brow, and then it's directly underneath the crown. So it's light. It's really, really light. And what it does for us as it opens up, we are able to more easily access downloads, spirit speaking to us, visions, messages, right? So our intuition is highly developed with the open pineal, right? And also we start to be able to use our senses, and more than just the physical senses, on the inner levels as well. So it's an interesting, it's a gland. It's absolutely tiny. It's smaller than the size of a little pea, but it's shaped like a pine cone. And they knew about it in all the ancient cultures and so on. In fact, what was so interesting was there's a recent clip going around of the Pope with a couple of cardinals. I don't know if you saw it. I didn't listen to the whole thing, but I was just fascinated because they were carrying staffs, and at the end of the staff was an enlarged pineal. You see, so they say that on the ancient churches and so on, and tombs and so on, there was always a diagram of the pineal. So this is knowledge which is coming to us now, and we need to integrate it, and we need to adapt it.
But it's amazing for me to think, yes, the pineal is one of the glands that, even talking about chakras, many people, they say, well, there is not, apart the production of melatonin, there is no other reason. And they all say that shrivel with age. And the other one is the thymus. So paradoxically, two very important glands, they've been forgotten. Yeah. They've been forgotten, or we separated from them. Because the thymus, we all grew up thinking, oh no, it shrinks, it's just for the kids when they grow up, for immunity. And then it's the heart, the higher heart. So it's really reconnecting this higher heart with the mind and getting. So this workshop is going to be an activation of the pineal.
Yes, but we are literally becoming a new species. I think it's completely fascinating. Yeah, and can I just touch on a couple of other things that we do on today's workshop? We invite people to start to use that pineal as a source of wisdom and information, so that they're doing their own channeling using that. And then what we do is we give you techniques so that you can open and activate that pineal. And then you can start downloading this information. But the other thing that we do, which is quite important, is that we look at the relationship of each of the different chakras to the brow and the pineal, because they all play a role in the opening pineal. And yeah, we've run this a couple of times, and people have absolutely loved it. They've loved it. Yeah. Now we are going to be doing one-on-ones. Hannelore is going to be doing channelings, and I'm doing counsellings and taking people on regressions. But I think that all the slots in Harare are full. So if you wanted a slot, then just ask Sharon, darling, beloved Sharon, who's organising our courses for us, to put you on a waiting list. Now, what happens is Hannelore's appointments are quite between 45 minutes and an hour. All right. And I work slowly with people. I love working with people, and I like to work slowly and steadily. You know, people open up if they know they haven't got a time constraint. So my sessions are 1.5 to 2 hours. Yes. Okay. But I don't know how the bookings are going in Bulawayo, but I think maybe there might be some empty slots there.
So what we're going to do, we're going to put in the description the Sharon's contact, so that they can contact her to see what, and I advise you to do it quite quickly and swiftly, and same for the workshop. So if you want to enroll, if you want to subscribe, you can just contact Sharon, and we put her contact in the description.
And Antonella, would you put the details on for the contact details for Bulawayo as well?
Yes, I will. They're on the flyer.
Have you got? I think
yes, I do have the flyer. Yes,
so it would. Stillhaven is doing the bookings, and their lovely lady called Elisa, and there's also there's an email, and also she's got a telephone number, and she doesn't like people using the phone number to make bookings.
Perfect. Okay.
So we're flying out on Friday week, and I can only tell you that we just love coming to Zimbabwe. We love the people we meet. We love the nature. You know, there's a wonderful thing about Zimbabweans. They get on with their life. There's no whinging, there's no complaining. And what's happening as a result of that, the majority of them who have taken this path are living beautiful lives, joyful, fulfilling lives. I have to tell you, I confess to you, my heart is in Zimbabwe. If I could come back, I'd come back tomorrow.
Natalia, thank you very much. Yes, you have presented your workshops, but you have imparted more wisdom, which we are very grateful. And so we see you in Harare.
Brilliant.
With thanks.
Thank you, Antonella.
Thank you.
Thank you so
see
much.
you soon. Bye.
Lots of love.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
And thank you, listeners.